Hi there, I just want to do a talk. I want to do a talk about perception. Now this is very important because this is how all reality is coordinated. And it's common sense to see that everything has to come from an idea, which comes from your imagination. And that's everything going on in the world, or reality in general. Everything comes from an imaginative idea, right? So your perceptual state, which creates the idea, is responsible for all the ideas on the planet. So what this means is that perception rules your reality. And that's the way it is. There is no time. My mum says to me yesterday, she says, the people that invented time are more smarter than you, Sean. And I says, no, they're not. Because I'm able to see past the illusion. I'm able to see beyond the illusion that they're playing. The asleep people are more stupid because they can't see beyond the illusion. But I can see beyond the illusion because I'm more awake. Because I've went through a spiritual awakening process for about 9 years now. And time also is a perceptual illusion. Everything comes from perception. Energy as well. 5G. What did 5G come from? An idea. Right? It's the same thing, a perception. But what all the perceptions together on a planet, that is the awareness of the planet. So everything comes from perception, but perception as a whole is awareness. That's what everything is, awareness. And the awareness on the planet is the perceptions on the planet. And that awareness is all the energetic stuff going on. Everything is energy. And all energy is awareness. It's all the same field. Why is it the same field? Well, because if you go back, all things must start from nothing. If God created the universe, then what about before the God? Who created the God? All roads lead to nothing. So if all roads lead to nothing and everything comes from nothing at some stage, then that means that it's still nothing. You can't have something from nothing really, but it means that the nothingness is just awareness. It's just infinite awareness. And that's what we are. We don't have any form. Nothing is really real, but we're just awareness from nothing. And there's no point or reason to anything. I'm not an atheist or, anything like, I'm not religious. What happened to me was an unexpected spiritual awakening. And I understand about nothingness and perception because these are subjects that I started to awaken to, you could say, in this awakening process. So it's not that I know more than anyone, but I would know more than the asleep person regarding perception. Because of the fact that I've experienced it. You only know something if you've experienced it. And that's the way it is. Everything comes from perception. Like my mother was saying to me yesterday, that, it doesn't come from perception. Everything comes from perception. Because perception manifests all the ideas on the planet, including the animals' ideas, and every creature has an idea. So it's all perception based. This is a fact. It's a scientific bodily fact, but it's also a common sense fact. See, I don't talk on ideas. I don't talk on things that I don't know to be true. I talk about logical, common sense things. I don't believe in belief systems. I don't believe in going down that road because that road leads to uncertainty. I talk on things that I know to be true. And that is what everything comes by. But many people who aren't ready to go to that, when you are going through awakening, what it really means is it means that you're ready to go to that next level of development as a soul, as a spirit, as a being. That's what it means. Other people that haven't had this yet don't understand you. So if you're trying to explain yourself, it's a bit of a waste, because they don't have the intellect nor the understanding or spiritual awareness or spiritual development yet to understand where you're coming from. Because the asleep person works on everything that they've been told. Everything's made up by people that are no more smarter than you are, what Steve Jobs said. And it's true. And what the normal people do is take the information and repeat. And the problem isn't the labels themselves, but it's when you get a bunch of sheeple and they all repeat, then you get a society that is just absolutely brainwashed. And like I say, brainwashing is just a way of life. You can't get past it, but you can choose to brainwash yourself. And that's what this awakening showed me to do. It basically said, Sean, you've got two choices. You can let your mum and dad brainwash you. You can let the outside world brainwash you. You can let all the outward influences do something to you, or you can re-hypnotize yourself and enter the real self, which is just infinite love, which is Gaia, which is just a love awareness type of thing. And this is what you return to in awakening. But remember, awakening is a choice. It's not something that someone can come along and put you on a course and miraculously do it. You're going to have to go through a lot of emotional discomfort because your families don't understand. When you're going through an awakening, basically what's happening, it happens to people that are extremely open to this kind of stuff. Very sensitive, empathic people. And you're now evolving to your true sensitivity, and you will seem strange to other people. Two people could start fighting and you'll just start crying. But not because you're weak, but because you're more open in your heart area to everyone else, and you think that everything should be a reality of a perception of love, not hating. And you're able to see that if someone's dishing out hatred or if they're dishing out love, where they actually can't see it. See, most people are like dishing out a certain behavior, but they don't actually, they're not self-aware, so they don't actually know what they're dishing out to others. They only see the other side of they only see their own side of the argument. But self-awareness means that you're aware of yourself. I'm very aware that if I react badly in a situation, that's an inward part of me that needs healed, and immediately I go on my own and I work on that part. A sleep person means you're not aware of these things. But going back, I want to go back to perception, and that's what changes in awakening. Your perception starts altering. This is what happened to me when I was 24. I went through an unexpected awakening, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know it was called awakening. I used to get night terrors. I used to get very bad depression. I would like copy other people. I would copy my parents. The real self wasn't there. The awakening showed me to be myself, which I didn't know what it was. So you could understand I had to do a lot of deprogramming on this journey for 9 years now. But 9 years to enter the true self. And I'm only now starting to access the real self, which is just a state of love, absolute love. So the real self is there now. The real self would come out sometimes before, but it was always trying to be what I was programmed to be. In awakening, if you're married and you awaken, then you'll get a divorce all of a sudden, because the person won't be able to meet you on that same higher vibrational level, that same intellectual level. You know what I'm saying? You're a different level of consciousness now. They say that when you have a spiritual awakening, I think they say that you enter the 4th and 5th dimensions and infinitely beyond it. A human is operating at the 3rd dimension. And I just want to end on this, and this is how 5G operates on the body. 5G operates on the human frequency, which operates around the third dimension. That's what a human operates at the third dimension. How you protect yourself from 5G is all about, you have to alter your perceptual state to that of beyond the fifth dimension. How you do that is you understand that all is one infinity. The third dimensional human can't see oneness. They can't perceive that. But once you start looking around you, if you're ready for this, you'll start to look around you and you'll see how all the dots are connected. You'll see how everything, every piece of furniture is actually connected. It's all one simulation that we live in. And many scientists believe this also now. And so it's all the same consciousness. So basically, once you're in the state of understanding this, this is how you're beyond the 5G killer frequencies. By understanding that you are 5G. You're the infinity, and I'll tell you why you're the infinity. Like I said at the start of the video, all things come from nothingness. Right? Meaning infinity. That means you're the nothingness, you're the infinity. That means you're the God. That means, like Osho once said, that life doesn't need an outside force to create it. You are your own God. So the 5G is actually you. So that's how you protect yourself from 5G. But how we protect ourselves from 5G as a whole, as a collective, because not everyone is spiritually aware enough yet, we've got to do things against 5G. But pretty much every country on the planet has done things against 5G, but still it's been imposed upon us, and yet some people say that we're living in a free society. You know, my dad even said a little while ago, he said Britain was a free society. I don't know where he got that one from. I don't know what planet he's on there, but no, we don't live in a free society. No country in the world is a free. The very idea of a country is control over you, because what's a country? A country is a label given to a once free piece of land, and you wouldn't be able to call it a country had you not dominated that piece of land by violent force, how they used to do in the olden days. All the films that you see with killing and everything, that's how they do it. They just do it in a more evil way now. The way they control people now is through the mind. But that's worse, because then you're finished forever. And it goes even beyond this life, like reincarnation. People talk about why you get reincarnated back on Earth. Why does that happen? Because you're not evolved enough to go to another planet. So the spirit people on the next level from here have to send you back because you're not evolved enough. They're helping you. So to evolve past that, you've got to ascend past the third dimension at least. And this is how you protect yourself from 5G. See, 5G is not just a frequency. The system knew what the 5G would do. It knew that it would set fear into the people. That's the name of the game. The name of the game is not really it's not really about 5G, but it's about control. And this demonic force controls through fear. Right? That's how it controls everybody. That's why the system likes people starving, hungry on the streets, to put fear on everybody else. Because that's how they live their lives. The demonic force is based on fear. And this global awakening is awakening people to what they are. So the demonic forces is in its last days. And that's what's going on. But like I said, perception, that's the name of the game. And that's how you protect yourself from 5G. It's all to do with perception. You change your perception, you change your reality. That's how reality is organized, and that's how they control you, through controlling and manipulating the perception of the masses. And look at it logically, look at it scientifically, and you'll see that what I'm saying is absolute fact. Whatever I say, I make sure that it's valid facts that I'm speaking about. But I'm just going to end it there. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.